In the Gorillaz' hotel in Mumbai, it was Christmas Eve once again. Inside their room, the creatures were wide awake as they were excitedly waiting for Santa, as their parents had told them about the legend, so they decided to stay up without their parents knowing. Santa Claus, here yet? No. Suddenly, the doorknob on their door started to move. Uh-oh, Mommy coming! Bed! The kids quickly got into bed and pretended to be asleep when Izzy came to check on them. Weird, I thought I heard something. Izzy then left the room. Then the kids opened their eyes, seeing as the coast was clear. Okay, now. Just then, Izzy came into the room once again, catching them awake. Aha! I knew it! Mummy! Kids, it's late. You all should be asleep. But Mummy, Santa Claus! Look, I know you're all excited about Santa, but little boys and girls like yourselves should be sleeping, and Santa only sees children when they're asleep. Now come on, get into bed. But Mom! Now! The creatures then got into bed. Good, now good night. Izzy then left the room but stayed by the door to see if the kids would finally go to sleep. Let's go to the window and look for reindeer! Yeah! Izzy sighed in annoyance, but then she got an idea. Izzy went to the room next door where her boyfriend and their friends were staying. She quietly entered, not wanting to wake Russell, Tootie, and Noodle, but meanwhile, her boyfriend Murdoc was still awake. He was in the bed, posed in a sexy manner. Hey, honey, are the kids finally asleep? No, they're too excited for Santa to even sleep. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure they won't hear us doing, Yeah, I know it's Christmas Eve and you want to get your jingle bells on, but I do have an idea that could get the kids to sleep. What is it? Izzy went over to the bookshelf and took out How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm sure they'll love this. How the Grinch Stole Christmas? How is that going to do anything? Simple. You just have to read it to them and they'll be out like a light. Okay, so you get to read it to them? Actually, I was thinking if... Wait, are you... Oh, no. I see where this is going. The answer is no. Come on, babe, please. No. Please. No. I'll serve you hot chocolate with liquor tomorrow morning if you do it. What? Back in the creatures' room, the kids continued to wait for Santa. Anything? No. Suddenly the door was opening. Uh-oh, Aunt Izzy back! The kids got back into bed and pretended to be asleep once again. Once they were in bed, Murdoc came into the room and saw them. Kids, I know you're awake. The creatures then got out from under the covers when they saw their father and uncle. Daddy! Yeah, don't worry, I'm not your mother or Aunt Izzy. But are you going to tell our daddies and mummies that we're not sleeping? No, but hey, while you wait for Santa, why don't I tell you a lot story to pass the time? A story? Yes. Now why don't you get comfortable and I'll tell it to you. The creatures then laid down in their bed while Murdoc took a chair and sat down and opened the book. Okay, every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas. In the story, all the Whos, played by some of Gorillaz' collaborators, were decorating for Christmas, feeling happy with joy and cheer. But the Grinch, who lived on the hill up north from the Whos, did not. On the top of the hill stood Murdoc, in the role of the Grinch, who was looking down at the Whos as they continued to decorate the town. Daddy! Grinch! Huh? What? Grinch! Daddy! What are you saying? Grinch and Unky Murdy look alike! Jack and Leo laughed. Oh, I get it. You say I look like the Grinch. Har har, very funny. Anyway, back in the story, Murdoc continued to look down at the Whos. Now, please do not ask why the Grinch hated Christmas, for no one knows why, for it could be his head wasn't screwed on just right, or that his shoes were on too tight. But the most likely thing of all was that his heart was 2 sizes too small. While Murdoc continued to look down from the hill, 2D, in the role of Max the dog, came out from the cave and joined him in watching the Whos with him. Oh, Max, isn't it just awful? Awful? I think it's pretty. Blah, I hate it. Tomorrow is Christmas, and once again I have to deal with all the noise. Then they'll feast. But what I hate the most of all the Whos coming together, hand in hand, and they'll sing. I hate it. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. An awful idea. Okay, whatever it is you're planning, leave me out of this. I'm gonna go chew on my bone. Murdoc then got to work on making himself a Santa suit. When he finished, he tried it on and looked at himself in the mirror. With this suit and hat, I'll look like just old Saint Nick himself. Now all I need is a reindeer. Murdoc then got out an antler and some thread. Max! Tootie came down chewing on a bone. What? Max, I need a favor. Why do you have a needle and thread? And what's with the antler? What are you doing? Murdoc then jumped Tootie and tied the antler to his head with the thread. God damn it, hold still! I would if you weren't on top of me and tying this antler on my head so tight. Calm down, I'm almost done. Murdoc then finished tying the antler on Tootie's head. And there, perfect! Now why don't you help me get some bags for the sleigh? Aww. Later, Murdoc strapped Tootie to the sleigh, then he cracked out a whip, and off they went.